The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer, Brian Haynes alongside, and Jeremy Greene is here as well. It's a Wednesday morning, and it's a victory morning.
It's a good morning.
I feel like it's victory lap morning. And,
good morning.
So this is going to be fun. Last night, the Los Angeles Lakers won Game 2 of their opening series of this Western Conference Finals, or Western Conference
First
playoffs.
round.
Excuse me. Beating the Phoenix Suns 109-100.
Yeah.
And
I came here to do two things. Drink coffee and piss Jeremy off. I'm almost out of coffee.
I didn't even get coffee. That's how convinced I am.
Hey, let me give you a demonstration of what I saw last night from your hero, LeBron.
Yeah.
Urka. Woohoo! Yes.
Lakers played their best game of the series, Suns in 6. Fuck off.
Well, Suns in 5 yesterday.
I'll give you an extra game.
Suns in 5 yesterday, and we've moved up a game. Now it's Suns in 6.
I'll give you an extra game. You know what? I'm even going to let the hair flow for
Oh, God. He's loving it. Yeah.
109-102, final score. Los Angeles Lakers win.
Yeah.
AD and LeBron, they didn't quite combine for 70 last night.
No.
But, I'll take 57 and a win over the Suns. Now,
impose their will on a far inferior team.
Yeah, they had 57. Chris Paul's arm fell off, and they still won by 7.
Woohoo! I mean, it just...
Oh, alarm the villagers.
Not true.
Anybody with an IQ better than salad dressing could have saw last night that the Lakers are the better team in the series.
Well, here's the thing. I, being the one that puts out betting picks for all of these games, can say that over the last 3 days, 14-1. I think I've earned some equity.
One giant loss.
Yeah.
Last night it was a better Lakers team. It was obviously a hurt Suns team with Chris Paul being out.
And Andre Drummond played like a real boy.
He did gut out 26 minutes.
Yeah, and Andre Drummond went full Pinocchio, and he's a real boy. For once.
He did. I still contend that this is not the best game that the Lakers could put on the floor.
I disagree.
I'm sure you do.
Your two stars both shot one shot right at 50% and went to the free throw line 21 times.
Yep. That happened.
LeBron's over 50%. I don't really know what more you could have expected.
Well,
KCP and Dennis Schroeder were actually good.
Big time players played big time in big time games.
Was not good.
Led the team in plus minus. KCP was number 1 on the Lakers in plus minus. Tell me again he wasn't good.
He didn't hit a shot all night long.
And that is what Statline followers watch, because guess who was on Devin Booker for the vast majority of the night? Mm-hmm. And he actually did it well.
Mm-hmm.
To the tune of 31 points for Devin Booker.
And he scored 9 of them in the last 52 seconds.
Yeah, he did. That whole I'm going to put Booker on the line and let him shoot instead of letting him shoot threes was a little bit weird. But,
why not?
I don't know. Hey, listen, they knew they already won the game.
See, G-Baby knows. He's in the comments. 14-1. That's equity, baby. That's equity. When Vostradamus goes from Saturday to Tuesday and he misses one game, one time.
Yeah, but it's the game that you told us that we're so stupid
It's the one that you were the most dogmatic about.
The one I was most dogmatic on was, I have it. And there it is. Oh, no. What happened? Oh, no, we suck again. There it is.
Oh, God. The 2K.
15 wins away, baby.
The 2K simulation, Denver Nuggets.
15 wins away, baby.
Yep.
You get used to that. We'll see it live action with Nikola Jokic holding the trophy. First cousin to Mothra.
Oh, my God. Never lost to the Zilla.
Never lost to the West.
Oh, my God. You are eat up with the Denver Nuggets thing. No, but to me, the Lakers could have played better. Andre Drummond couldn't have played better. You're right about that.
Wait, I think Chuck just put in the comments why I hate the Lakers.
Why do you hate the Lakers?
Hold on. Holy shit, that's actually true.
This is
Vogel
by far the greatest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life.
Okay.
Vogel in German, you know what it means?
No.
Bird. Means bird. Hashtag birds aren't real. Hashtag no Vogel.
Chuck G with the bomb dropper of the century. And once again,
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know it.
This can only get better from here on out. Knowing that Frank Vogel's name means bird in German. Oh, Lord, give me the strength. Now we got the Lakers gonna just destroy the Suns, and their coach's name is a bird. Is it my birthday? Is it my birthday? This is great.
I don't know about destroy the Suns.
Oh, yeah. This series is over.
Oh, yeah. Suns had the lead
over.
with 4 minutes to go, and you act like they beat them like the Celtics got beat last night.
I mean,
quite.
all it is just wins, baby.
Right.
They're just eating dubs out there, you know what I'm saying?
I would love to have never seen that.
Some things you just can't unsee.
Yep, that's what.
What I saw last night was the Lakers being the aggressor. They were taking the game to DeAndre Ayton. They were working their way inside. No, Andre Drummond probably is not going to play like that in another game.
Ever again for the rest of his life.
Don't say ever.
Oh, God, you're right there?
Kermit T. Frog. In news from the swamp.
It's all that humidity outside.
Yeah. Ugh.
Don't say never. I'm just, He was oh God. I just noticed. Look at the screen.
Oh, Jesus Christ on a cracker.
He's
Not real.
Incorrigible.
Vogel is the bird in Deutsch.
And so by that, Frank Vogel's not real?
Bingo.
Gotcha. And so a coach who's not real can't help lead his team to a series win.
Well,
gotcha.
Let's be clear here. It's not
Frank Vogel is the pigeon of the NBA. Government surveillance drone.
I mean, seriously, the Lakers obviously were this far superior team yesterday. I said yesterday
Far superior. I think you're using nominally better. But
Far superior. It was obvious. I said yesterday the Chris Paul injury was going to be hurtful for the Suns. It was. You know, he had a bruised shoulder and he couldn't play more than 20 minutes. This is coming from a guy who stubs his toe and is out for 3 weeks.
Exactly. I was about to say, I've seen a sandwich take you out for 4 to 6 hours.
It's happened. It's
happened yesterday.
It happened yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
I literally watched a club sandwich put you down for the count.
Sucked your
from
soul.
1 to 4.
I'm just such a fat bastard. It's only just because you're so fat.
So unbelievably fat.
I feel like LeBron just basically said, this is going to be my game, and I'm going to get the ball to AD and let him just do his thing. I'm going to come off picks and drain threes. I'm going to fall away jump shots like they were coming out of the roof. It was just a beautiful thing to watch, and it's pretty obvious to me that this is going to be Lakers in 6, exactly like I said at the beginning of the series.
I love that the guy whose blood pressure looks like his SAT scores is talking about somebody's health.
It just says gravy.
Don't. I think you're giving him too much credit on his SATs.
Yeah,
I did actually pretty good.
It looked like my SAT scores.
My SAT was pretty good.
Yeah, his blood pressure looks like my SAT scores.
Yeah, I mean,
it was good to see. It was good to see the Lakers get the win last night. Phoenix Suns. Obviously, this series is now tied. We're headed back to LA.
And we go back to LA.
Yep.
The Lakers crowd's going to be going absolutely bonkers. Jack Nicholson's going to be there.
Are they going to have fans? Are they going to have increased capacity?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, did you see the Clippers game last night? They still have the cardboard shit up.
Well,
nobody. Did they not get the memo? We're done with this.
Nobody likes the Clippers. Except for Marcellus Wiley. He's the only person who likes to, and Skip Bayless.
Right.
They're the only two people.
You just got called Skip Bayless in the comments.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Get the fudge out of here.
And you know what?
Because you're doing your best impression of him right now.
And you are 100% doing your best Skip Bayless right now.
Oh, yeah.
They were far superior.
It was.
They were up by 4 with 3 minutes to go.
I saw a different game than you saw.
Apparently you did.
Yeah.
Because I saw a crippled Suns team missing their point guard. Devin Booker plays poorly, and they had the lead.
And on game 1, I saw LeBron play poorly and AD play poorly, and now we're coming up with narratives for each game. It's just how it goes. But in the long run, the far superior team is going to win in 6.
Yeah, the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said.
You're
The
wrong.
far superior, younger, more athletic, healthier team is going to win the series.
You're wrong.
And they wear the valley across their chest.
It's not like the Lakers played fantastic last night. What?
What'd they do poorly?
What did they do poorly? In my opinion, they played DeAndre Ayton way too much. I would like to see a full. Just walk down the path with me here.
DeAndre, how in the hell did
understand.
the Lakers played DeAndre Ayton too much?
Yes.
There you go. It's always good when you use names correctly.
It's not the one.
It's not good when we're trying to prove someone wrong and you go the wrong thing.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I fucked it up. I'll try it again. Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Andre Drummond. The offense moves so clunkily when Andre Drummond is out there.
So what you're saying is that they didn't play poorly. You just didn't like the way they did it.
No, they did. I mean, obviously they didn't play poorly. They won the game. What I'm saying is there were a lot of empty possessions that they had throughout that game that went, if you might have had some different personnel out there, it could have gone differently.
I love that you're both gleaning over the big, massive problem with this game.
What's that?
They still weren't better than the Suns with Anthony Davis on the floor. Lowest plus minus of any player that started for the Lakers was Anthony Davis. When he was on the floor, it was still a problem. And he played out of his mind offensively. He's still a problem defensively. Still, it's not going to stop. It's not going to change. DeAndre Ayton's still going to be a problem. If Chris Paul can get a little shot in that shoulder, I feel like they got needles in Phoenix, don't they? As somebody that's had one of those, I'll tell you, they make everything feel better. Just a little doop doop. Maybe not publicize it, maybe not talk about it. Just, just a little.
Not everybody's as corrupt as you are.
Factually inaccurate.
Yeah, it's factually inaccurate.
Yeah.
I can't even fake like that's not the truth.
I'd like to invite all of you to the laying of the rest of the piece of the Suns here next week when the Lakers are going to be up. And we're going to have a ceremony and just, a eulogy, so to speak, as they've said in there about how.
All right.
This was.
Listen, Peanut Gallery. Let's play a fun game.
Okay.
Let's just say you're right.
Okay.
Let's just for shits and giggles
Which I
say
am.
you're right. I disagree.
Okay.
Who they beating in the next round? Who's this team beating in the next round? They gonna stop Jokic? You feel real good about that? You think Aaron Gordon on LeBron, and you like the chances of that? I put Jokic on AD. I put Aaron Gordon on LeBron. Okay, how you gonna stop Michael Porter? That's just in the next round.
They beat this team last year 4-1 with Jamal
way
Murray.
Different team. Way
with
different
Jamal
team.
Murray.
Didn't have Aaron Gordon.
That
Michael
had
Porter
Jamal
was
Murray.
a rookie. LeBron was a year younger.
Michael Porter was not a rookie. Michael Porter is in his 3rd or 4th year.
It was the first year he had played in the league, which makes him a rookie. They're pudding pants.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what year he got drafted.
Okay.
You completely threw me off.
He's gonna. Let's see if the ginger pops, dude.
And it very well might. That's just in the next round. Then you get either Utah or
I'm not talking about the next round. I'm talking about this round.
And that's fine. That's fine. What you're doing is they're the far superior team
to the Suns.
Okay, if they're the Suns are the 2 seed in the West.
Well, they had a good run.
You want to keep underselling them, that's fine. Phoenix loses doesn't change the fact they're still a good team. And you've undersold the shit out of them for months now. What I'm saying is you want to say the Lakers are the far superior team. Okay, who do they beat? Walk it down. You tell me their path to winning a title.
I'm only focused on this one series.
Because that fits your narrative. But see, your narrative is they're the far superior team.
Your narrative is that they're not even going to beat the Suns.
They have to be able to beat teams that are worse than the Suns.
But you can't. But you keep saying that they're worse. They're not as good as the Suns are. And you keep saying that the Suns are going to win in 5, and now they're winning in 6. So it just doesn't make any sense to me.
I actually said Suns in 6 originally. I changed
you did,
it to 5
and then you said it to 5, and now it's back to 6.
Yeah, my narrative hasn't changed shit. I'm still taking the Suns, no doubt. I'm taking your words. You said they're the far superior team.
To the Suns.
Shut up for a minute. If they're the far superior team and they're playing the 2, you're going to have to explain to me how they're going to lose in the next round to the 3. Because you agree with me. We've already talked about it. They're the far superior team. They're so good. Oh, God, how in the fuck can anybody ever beat the Lakers? I would take every team that will make it to the second round of the West to beat the Lakers.
Okay.
But they're the far superior team. See, this is what drives me crazy about the LeBron apologists, is that you have such hubris about he's just going to show up and it's going to work. All right, let's say they beat the Suns. More power to you. You ain't got a snowball's chance in hell of getting out of the West.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, walk me through it. You tell me how it happens.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if
But see, you brought this on by saying they're the far superior team.
To the Phoenix Suns. I just said to the Phoenix Suns.
To the 2. That's the 2 in the West.
The 2
you had a full
seedings
season.
Don't really matter in the NBA, especially in the West. It doesn't fucking matter. Obviously, Vegas had them as the damn favorite.
Seedings don't matter in the West.
Okay.
Or seedings don't matter in the NBA. That's what you want to go with.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Lakers
really
hurt
want to
all
say
year long. If LeBron and AD played all year long, they weren't going to be a 7 seed.
Hey, seedings don't matter. Name me the last team that won a title that was higher than a 3.
Okay.
No, name it. I'll wait. I have the list in front of me.
Okay.
Because I can tell you who it was. It was the Houston Rockets when I was 8 years old. So seeding doesn't matter. It's been a 1, 2,
now
3
when your 2 best players were hurt all year long,
they weren't hurt all year long. They were hurt for 20 games.
Okay.
And they were still the
20 games out of 72, which is more than a quarter of the game.
And they rested them for half of them.
Yeah. Well, they could have won more games.
You almost ran yourself right out of the playoffs.
I actually didn't. I said that I basically 100% said the Lakers will beat the Suns in this series. You're changing the narrative now because you want to say, I'm going to be wrong in this one, so now I want to go, let's move on to the next round, and the next round after that, and the next round after that.
What narrative did I change?
Now it doesn't matter about this series. It matters about the next series. It's all about the next series.
Because of what you said.
Okay.
You said they're far superior.
They are.
They're the best team in the West.
I didn't say they're the best team in the West.
You said they're far superior to the
Suns. So they're going to beat the Suns. They're far superior to the goddamn Suns.
You said they're far superior to the 2. Those were your words, not mine. I didn't say that. You did. So I'm changing the narrative. No, my narrative hadn't changed for shit.
Okay.
I took the Suns in 6. I waffled and went to 5 when they blew them out in game 1. Okay, yeah, I was wrong about that. I'll still take them in 6.
Okay.
So you say you're far superior to the second best team in the conference that, by the way, is the best team in the NBA since the bubble started last year.
Yeah.
You're far superior to that.
Yep.
So when you throw hubris out there, that's what you're going to get.
Okay.
And so you want to talk about me changing the narrative. I'm talking about what you said.
Okay.
They're far superior. All right, you're far superior to the 2.
Yeah.
Then tell me how you beat the 3.
Yep.
Tell me how you're going to deal with the Mavericks. Or, no, this is your watch. LeBron just makes it work. And Anthony Davis, who might be the most overrated player of my entire life. That's a lie. Allen Iverson's the most overrated player of my life. Get pissed about that in the comments. I'll wait because you're good. That's fine. And I'll crush you on it if you do. That's something he and I actually agree about. It just blows my mind that one game and all of a sudden, oh, you're a fucking moron. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the Lakers, they're the far superior. I've been listening to this for an hour. You know, that camera's been on for 20 minutes. I've been hearing this since you walked in the door.
And it's just a way to just make you mad, and I love it.
And that's fine.
I know. It brings on good camera time.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Look, they're talking to the comments. I'm getting a shower over here from you two spitting at each other.
I've been spitting.
I fully came into this
thinking
this is going to be another day. I'm going to get under Jeremy's skin and I'm going to rev him up. For once, I'm just sitting back going, it wasn't me this time.
It's one thing. To me, if you look at last night and go, see, this is what I was talking about. The things that have driven me crazy of this narrative is you trying to tell me the Lakers didn't play well last night. You shot over 40% from the field.
I didn't say they didn't play well. I said they didn't play as well as they could have.
You pretty much made it sound to me as though they did not play well.
That wasn't my point.
Okay, all right. So then I'll unwind that because you made it sound like the Lakers played like dog shit and they still beat Phoenix.
No, I mean they got a great performance out of Andre Drummond, better than anybody could have ever expected. But it's not what.
And you know what Drummond provided? And I think you're underselling this. He can actually get physical with DeAndre.
Oh, yeah.
Does it work?
There's no doubt about it.
But he's 6 real tangible fouls, and they were 4. He used 4 of them, and they were all pretty damn aggressive. Yeah. There was no like, I touched his asshole. No, it was raked.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I think it got in Ayton's head a little bit.
Chris Paul being hurt is a huge thing. He's the floor general of this team. He keeps all these guys. DeAndre Ayton plays 10 times better when Chris Paul is on the floor. It was a big thing with him getting injured the other game, and I just knew I was going to see this. A shoulder injury is like that's probably not going to just be healthy for Game 3. They're going back to L.A. It's going to be in LA, not in Phoenix, with fans going out there. They could easily be down 3-1. I mean, I see this. This was a big, I even said yesterday, this was a must-win game for the Lakers. If the Lakers lost this, they would be out of the series. I said it. They won the game. Now they're going back to LA, and it's split. It just is playing towards seeing the Lakers end up winning this series in 6, and that's all I was saying. The other stuff is just to get under your skin. I just love it. But I mean,
the far superior thing, he was just using that to.
No, I actually do think the Lakers are a far superior team. Oh my gosh.
All right, we've been down that path, and you're going to lose that battle. I was on your side. I was on your side until you went the far superior team.
Because they were better than the Lakers with LeBron. But so see, that would have some merit if they weren't ahead of the Lakers when LeBron got hurt.
Yeah. Right.
So I just it's so funny to me as a gambler that I watch this shit every year. I've made a small fortune off of this, of knowing what you've seen, and I'm going to do it in the next round too, not with the Lakers. Because the Milwaukee Bucks are going to get absolutely fucking housed by the Brooklyn Nets, and guess what? There's going to be people that bet on Milwaukee sideways.
Yep.
I'm calling my shot before it even happens.
Yeah.
Milwaukee will get beaten 5 games by Brooklyn. You mark my words that I said that. Because they have no shot of scoring with that team.
No. They don't. They just don't have the scores. I mean, it's not like I just don't know who's going to stop certain people. Like, who's going to really stop Kyrie in that game?
Hold on. Before we move off this, because Robert Johnson just said something in the comments that I really feel like needs to be said.
Okay.
If Chris Paul's healthy last night, who wins that game? 100% healthy.
100% healthy?
Yep.
That is the Suns.
That's my only point. That's the only thing I was really trying to prove.
You know, if he had been fully healthy and he played, they would have completed the comeback. I mean, they may have still fallen behind because he's a little sore in the first half or whatever, but I think they probably would end up winning that game. No doubt about it. I just think it's fun to get under your skin.
It is fun to get under my skin. By the way, if you ever see me take my hat off on camera, you can rest assured I'm planning on getting pissed because I know what's coming.
Last night we had the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, God.
Just absolutely destroyed the Boston Celtics.
Absolutely.
It's as if the Boston Celtics don't want to be there.
I said that when I picked this game yesterday.
Right. I mean, it's as if we talked about it going into the play-in game. How Bill Simmons was talking about it on his podcast, that there was a feeling inside the building that nobody even wanted to win the play-in tournament because why? This season is gone.
Yeah.
We're done. Jaylen Brown's not around anymore. We're not 100%. We're just not playing well.
For a team that has got in Boston, for a team in Boston who has had draft picks, they've gotten great players in Tatum, they've gotten Jaylen Brown, they got Kemba Walker in the free agency that's here or there.
Yeah.
But for a team who's had so much draft capital and all these things, I just look at it and said, I feel like they could have done so much more over the last 4 to 5 years, and I feel like the window of opportunity for them just came and went, and they had so many opportunities to use that draft capital to build this team a little bit better, and they made horrible mistakes. The Kyrie Irving mistake was huge. I don't know, and I just feel like this is the end for the Boston Celtics.
But if they didn't do here's the thing. I don't necessarily see it as that, and I've been trying to wrestle with this for a while. I said yesterday on the ESPN Asheville show, I think Boston is the most disappointing team to me in this season.
Oh, for sure.
The NBA.
Definitely one of them.
And I want to feel like if we go back and listen to shows over the past 3 years, I think I've said this every time they get bounced out of the playoffs.
Right.
Because I mean it's a team that I believe in the talent in, But I don't know that they're ever going to pull it together. And I don't know that anybody's really to blame for it all. It's just they're one of those snake-bitten franchises that shit just happens. And they don't end up making it. Obviously, I was against the Kyrie Irving thing when it happened, but you decided to go down that path after what? That was after Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
And they went down the Kyrie Irving path. And you get Kemba Walker in. He's a player that, near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Carrying the Bobcats/Hornets.
Yeah.
I think he only was with us for a year for the Hornets, or 2 years with the Hornets anyway. But still, I believe in the talent. It's just they can't ever put it together. And I don't know that you can blame Brad Stevens for it, because he's a great coach.
I go back and forth.
That.
I go back and forth on the Brad Stevens, as far as just when is enough going to be enough? What are you gonna keep letting?
But what could they? I always go back to what can they do? What better option is there for them?
Maybe just a change of philosophy or something. I just don't know, because whatever he's doing isn't really working. If you want to be a team that makes it to the playoffs every year but doesn't get any further than they really should, then yeah, keep with Brad Stevens. How many times, I know he ran into, LeBron's Cavs, and then, now you have a super team in the Brooklyn Nets. But it's not like, and then, Giannis, but I felt like as a team, they should have been doing a lot more over the last couple of years. They should have been. They had the pieces to make it to a championship game, and they haven't done it.
Right. Well, there's always one giant hole for me with them. There's always one giant hole somewhere, whether it be you didn't have the wing shooter, or you didn't have the big to be able to match up against Giannis. It's always one thing.
Right.
We believe in the talent of Marcus Smart and Kemba Walker and Jason Tatum. But other than that, obviously Jaylen Brown.
They made the trade for Evan Fournier this year. They tried.
It's to me, it's just another dude.
Yeah.
It's another dude to try to fill slot, and you've just never been able to find the glue guys to make it actually work. I don't know who's to blame for the Boston thing, but there's no doubt that they're done. They shouldn't even be on the floor with Brooklyn the way they were playing last night.
Oh, they're very bad defensively. Very bad. I was talking about the Lakers shooting over 40%. The Nets shot over 50% last night. That's a bad damn sign. It's a bad sign when you force 17 turnovers and get run off the floor.
Yeah.
But, Boston is screwed this year. Now, going forward, there's not many teams I would rather be than Boston, because you do have a lot of good, young, controllable assets, and you have draft capital, and you have all the things. To me, the narrative that this is in any way Brad Stevens' fault is insane.
Right.
I think Brad Stevens is one of the best coaches in the NBA.
I do too.
I'm afraid that Danny Ainge overplayed his hand long ago. He's had all these assets that people wanted, whether it was Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, bringing it, and the star that you wound up with was Kemba Walker. You had Kyrie, you had Isaiah Thomas, all of these pieces, and you could have done all of these things that would have yielded you having a star, and you wound up with the wrong star.
Yeah.
And now I think it's going to be a problem, because Jason Tatum is going to have to be the star, and I don't know if that's the way he's best cast. I'm afraid that he's so limited defensively. Yes, he can put up stats. Yes, he's a very good offensive player. I'm afraid he's going to be so limited all around that he can never be the best player on a championship team.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard anybody say that, but I'm not to the die on my shield on that opinion, but after watching, we're several years in here,
right.
I'm pretty confident of it.
Yeah,
Right.
They just gave up yesterday. I don't know. I don't think there's a chance that Boston wins a game in this series. I think it's a 100% sweep.
I do too.
Especially, I don't know what the extent of Tatum's injury was, but if he's not on the floor,
it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
If he had just had a little tweak and then been out there running full sprints the rest of the game, I wouldn't have cared. Because what? They still lose by 12? And you never felt like that game was close after the first 5 minutes. Brooklyn's just too strong. And I kept watching that game last night going, I don't know is it that Brooklyn is playing, or that Boston is playing that bad, or is Brooklyn just this good? is Brooklyn going to be able to do this to everybody?
This is
because the way
this is not a good matchup, in my opinion. This is going to overinflate Brooklyn.
Okay.
Because this is not a good defensive team, and that is the one thing you can't be against Brooklyn. Yeah. They'll just shoot you out the building.
Yeah.
I mean, they can just score in a way. If you can't lock them down, which I think people are going to think the Bucks can in the next round, and I'm not so sure of that. I think Giannis can deal with KD, and I think Drew can deal with
Kyrie.
Yeah.
James Harden's going to go off.
James Harden's going to be the problem.
Yeah.
It's going to be a problem.
I did enjoy during the broadcast last night. Shaq had a little disagreement with the other two, with Kenny and Charles, where he said that he would take Joe Harris against Steph Curry in a three-point shootout.
Joe Harris is probably the second best shooter in the league. He's not better than Steph Curry.
I understand
that's dumb. But Joe Harris is a bad man.
He was trying to stand and die on that shield that Joe Harris is the best shooter in the NBA. And no, he's not. He's not that. I'm not saying he's bad. He's real good. But he's one of the forgotten pieces.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to focus on the stars that are with this team. It's just another offensive weapon that they can go to. I don't know. They are an offensive juggernaut. I get that they're going to give up a whole bunch of points when they play better teams, but I'm starting to believe in the Nets.
The extra pieces for the Nets are, I think, maybe a little bit underrated at some points. I don't think the Blake Griffin thing is, I mean, he's not great, but he's fine. The Landry Shamats, the Bruce Brown Jr.'s, and the Jeff Greenes are what the pieces that I look at that are pieces that a championship team needs. That will go out and know their role and do that role really, really well.
Right.
So I felt... Well, I think when we get into the next couple rounds, I mean, it just was ISO. But when you have three scores like this, it's tough. I just think when you get into the later rounds, this is going to be causing a problem. But right now, I mean, they look really, really good.
Yeah.
And when you said, is it that Boston's so bad and that Brooklyn is so good, I hate using this term, but I think it's a little bit of both. You know? I think that Boston is, like Jeremy said, very, very rough on defense, and Brooklyn has three of the best scores the NBA has.
Yep.
So it's just, I think it's a little bit of both. I'm just looking to go into the next couple series, and probably not next one because they definitely play the Bucks next series, and I'm probably 100% in agreement with Jeremy that I don't think any way that Milwaukee can beat them.
If Joe Harris plays like he played last night, nobody can beat him. That's going to be the X factor. I don't think he can do that night in, night out, even getting hot, because he wasn't even a liability defensively, which he usually is. And that would make them absolutely terrifying.
Yeah. I'm joining with you on the Brooklyn bandwagon here against Milwaukee in the next round. It's going to be up to Philadelphia, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know that Philadelphia can do anything in this series to make me believe more in them.
In Philly?
Right.
Philly plays defense far superior to
right, but I'm saying I don't know that I'm going to come out of this. I still feel like Philly, they're my pick in the East. Philly's my pick in the East. I think they're coming out.
They'll probably be mine too. Just the way this all laid out.
I think that's going to be if it ends up being Philly and Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference Finals, that could be a really, really good.
Well, for me,
series.
It's a mixture of things. I think Milwaukee has enough players to throw at Brooklyn that series is going to be grinded out 6-7 games. I could see a path. The Sixers don't lose a game, and they're sitting in the conference finals. I could see them going 4 out on Atlanta and here in the first round as well.
Right.
Or the Knicks, whoever makes it to the second round.
We'll find out tonight, basically.
Or the Knicks,
yeah. I mean, whoever it is. I'm not trying to cast aspersions at the Knicks here. I think Atlanta probably wins that series. Just saw things I didn't love.
Yeah.
But for me, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at Philadelphia going, you're going to go Knicks, Atlanta, they get Milwaukee.
Yep.
And you got to look at how thin the Nets rotation is.
Yeah, and
they blew them out last night. They played 7 guys more than 15 minutes or something?
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive, actually. I see, and sometimes when you have that team that does kind of sweep through or plays less games and then is sitting there for like a week or week and a half before they actually play in the finals, that sometimes tends to hurt that team because they're not fresh. They're healthy and fresh, but they're not game going. You know what I mean?
I mean, that'll certainly be the excuse that the Doc Rivers opponents when they lose to the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
that'll certainly be the excuse that they go to.
You love Doc so much, man.
I just. Doc's fine. He's a great coach. He just one time with a magical team, the Big Three. He won the title, and then all of those other teams have been so close and never been able to do it again. Never been able to get over that hump. I don't know that it's necessarily his fault. Mm-hmm. I just think it's funny that there happens to be excuses all the time for Doc Rivers, and he's a guy that likes to poke the bear, so I'm gonna poke the bear back at him. It's just the way it is. Anyway, I don't know that I'm going to learn anything over the next two series with Philadelphia to make me feel better about them because I think I might be capped out. Brooklyn, I had a lot of questions about, but after I have seen the first two games of this series against Boston, I'm starting to think maybe I've been undervaluing Brooklyn.
You shouldn't let this series change your mind on anything.
Okay.
This is one of the worst defensive teams you're going to see.
Right.
So it's going to inflate Boston. Mm-hmm. Or it's going to inflate Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and everybody out there, a lot of people are saying, ease up on this because you're seeing them play a Boston team.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till they get into the later rounds. I think most people. That's coming from the comment that Chuck G put in there that he just realized that a phoenix is rising from the ashes, is a bird from Greek mythology that rises from the ashes, so Jeremy's screwed either way, is what he's saying. And so...
You know what's not a bird?
What's that? Oh.
A Dallas Maverick? Oh, God.
The Joker.
Of course.
The Joker.
Should have known he was going back to that.
Yeah.
The Dallas Mavericks, 127-121 win over the LA Clippers last night.
Awesome.
Luka Doncic.
Oh, man.
He is a very, very special cat. I mean, what can you say about him? How high do you put him in the hierarchy of best players in the NBA right now?
Top 4.
Yeah.
That's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking he is definitely in that top 5 of the players in the NBA.
He knows how to play. He knows what to do with whoever they have guarding him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He uses that against him. He's a very smart basketball player.
Yep.
They wanted to put Patrick Beverley on him, and there's only one other player in the NBA that I hate more than Patrick Beverley, and that's Draymond Green. So let's be honest. I just love him just bouncing him around. He just gets his shoulder right into his forehead and pushes him away.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's doing. He inserts his will on him, and he knows when to make the pass. He knows when to get down low. He's brilliant with that step in and step back three-pointer. It's just so beautiful to watch. It's just so funny because the Clippers, it's just everybody hates them, and it's the Clippers.
I don't know that it's everybody hates them. It's just there's nothing to really like about this team.
Well,
and maybe this is part of the reason that I've been down on the Clippers ever since they, had the uniting of the superpowers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
To me, those two guys are two of the most unlikable guys in the NBA. They just are. Like, Kawhi never speaks. And I don't know that I've ever heard Paul George say anything where I went, oh, that's a great point. The only things I've ever really paid attention when he's talking is when he's bitching about something that he doesn't like.
Or he's giving himself a nickname that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Paul George is a stat accumulator.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what he is.
Yeah.
He's got a name, and yes, he's a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
He got roasted last night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, roasted.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the Clippers now and go, you will go as far as Kawhi Leonard can take you by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got other guys that can score, but in terms of defenders, if Kawhi's not on Luka, they're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
From here on out, if Kawhi Leonard's not the guy defending Luka Doncic, you did it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that you don't want to take him out of his offensive rhythm because he's so important and all these other things. That's the only guy on this team that can guard it. And in any way, and not just get demolished.
Mm-hmm. And if Kawhi is one of those players that want to do that, then he goes to his coach and he says, listen, He goes to Tyronn Lue and he says, I want Luka for 40 minutes. But he won't, because it's just not who he is. You know, I don't. And it's just fun. I just really like Luka a lot, obviously, and just disdain the Clippers because
disdain the Clippers.
I mean, it's just more. I used to like Kawhi. I just over the last couple of years, I've just gotten just so sick and tired of it. And I think it's just the load management stuff just really gets under my skin.
It's not even that with me. I mean, when Kawhi Leonard is on the floor, he's one of the best players in the NBA. He's unbelievable. I just hate that. You know, to me, this was, again, the Clippers just as an organization chasing relevancy. Like, they just want to be relevant. And they had the Lob City thing and Doc Rivers, and they never could get over the hump. And they were just right there, and they thought, oh, well, what's the one thing that we can do? Oh, well, let's go out and get two superstar players. Let's try to be a part of the super team thing. He went out and picked two guys who I just don't feel match well together. When I see them out on the floor together, I go,
you've gutted the team for the long haul to put them
absolutely.
together. It just doesn't work.
Absolutely. And
I could honestly see the Mavericks sweeping them out of the series. Yeah. I see a possibility.
I don't know about that. I mean, once they get back to L.A., they might get one game. Or, excuse me. I guess now
it's going back to Dallas.
It's going back to Dallas now, yeah. They might get one game.
And you know how many fans are going to be in Dallas? The entire stadium.
It's going to be all of them.
They're in the entire stadium. They've got a 2-0 lead. The fans down there are going to be all over Luka Doncic. Yeah. Sure. It's going to be crazy in there.
I don't know that they get swept out of the series. They might have one game in them. Because I can't expect Luka Doncic to do this every night.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. It's going back to Dallas, and I don't know how the Clippers are going to go down there and win again.
It's going to be tough.
I really don't. I don't.
You're going to hope you get one game out of Paul George. One really good game. And, I mean, that's about all he's good for when he gets into the playoffs. The big knock that we had on him last year. He played pretty well in the first series of the playoffs last year, and then just disappeared. It's just a team that doesn't work. They don't look good on the floor together. There's no real team chemistry. You know, they brought in Rajon Rondo to try to be the team leader, and it just doesn't look like they're. Everything looks disjointed when they're out there. Mm-hmm. And then you look on the other side, and you got the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic is playing well, and Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know what to think about him.
Here's what I'm gonna. You watch Rajon Rondo play more in Game 3.
Yeah,
because he needs to. Mm-hmm. You will see more Rondo, less Patrick Beverley. As well, I believe you should.
Mm-hmm.
And Porzingis is just out there just going out to strip clubs whenever he wants and doesn't care about it.
You can't do that. Yeah.
I mean, he gets fined. He gets fined $50,000, and LeBron just gets to keep playing. But,
but it was a different situation.
I know it was.
There were different venues.
I know.
Everything is all about the risk. How big of a risk are you putting on everybody else? LeBron didn't get fined because he went to an outdoor event where everybody either had to test positive or they had to actually have their vaccine.
Right.
Kristaps Porzingis went to a strip club where there's not even a temperature check at the door anymore, probably. So, what?
I was going to say something offensive and I didn't.
Are they
proud of me? You said temperature check at a strip club, and to me that's a well-timed joke waiting to happen.
And you immediately wanted to take it there. I get it.
Yep.
No, the two cases were not the same.
No.
And that's
I know they're not. I just like this.
That's why the NBA didn't fine LeBron.
I know.
When they absolutely could have, and everybody was shouting for them to do so. Oh, why didn't you suspend LeBron?
They came out and said why. They explained everything. Yeah.
Because we're done. We're done. And if you're going to a well-organized event that's outdoors where there's, practically no risk anymore of transmission,
it's over.
Or so the CDC has told us, it's a lot different than going to a strip club that has no protocols in place. I'm sure there are some. They have hand sanitizer and right next to the lotion as you go in.
Yeah, don't use hand sanitizer as lubricant. It won't go well for you. I feel like with the games that are tonight, Wizards, Sixers, Hawks, Knicks, Grizzlies, Jazz.
Yeah.
Those are three just disgusting. Like, why talk about the Knicks game tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, he's a Knicks fan, but
Right.
It's winter. This is the biggest game in New York in a very, very, very long time.
well, my point would be, we're not gonna have a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I feel like tomorrow would be a good day to talk about the St. Louis Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
I think that would be, or their team name of your choice.
yeah.
Still taking team names. Don't know what we'd do, but you know what we could do? I could take my 7 players from the draft and then build my expansion team around it. I think we're sounding this out, or I'm sounding this out on the fly.
Sounding this out.
This is what he does.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mainly because I don't want to get stuck in a place that where at 8 o'clock tomorrow y'all look at me and go, hey, are we going to break down Wizards Sixers today? Because personally, I would rather go to Chipotle and then lay down in a tub of Tabasco sauce.
No, we're going to talk about how the Hawks
That
have a
should be
2-0
interesting.
lead on the Knicks. That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's not going to fill an hour.
Yes. You're going to lose again. Just so you know.
I bought this guy some freaking banana pudding yesterday for lunch.
He did. He did me a solid.
And this is what I get.
I'm sorry.
This is what I get out of him.
I'm sorry. The mayor of New York City came out and called out Trae Young, and Trae Young is a guy who's going to play.
Why
with
does
his
Trae
hair
Young
on fire.
look like Fire Marshal Bill when his hair was on fire?
Sorry.
I
couldn't
it's
not
like
do it.
it's just his hair is disturbing.
I'm still not getting it. Like, what is it about it? Is it just because of the shape of his head?
It's just
or-
like I don't know. He's missing hair. He's what it is.
Is that what you're saying?
He's got
He's too
Tank
wispy?
Spencer hair that's grown out, and he thinks that it's working for him, and it's not. I mean,
Wow. Okay, I did not.
yeah.
I haven't.
I mean, just take a look. Take a picture of him and take a picture of Fire Marshal Bill.
It's too thin and wiry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just
I feel like that was
showing way
friendly
too much
fire.
scalp.
birds aren't real.
I feel like that was friendly fire. I feel like we need to get back to something we can all agree on.
I mean, there is a lot of bare skin there. He's got a 6 head. So
if they ever made a mascot for penises, I feel like you would be the living
my
embodiment
head?
of what the costume
wait,
would look like.
when I tilt it back like this, it gets even pointier.
Oh my.
We have to get
It's like
away
a
from this camera, or I'm going to say
like a
things
human
that I
bullet.
can't unsay.
It's like the Coneheads.
He looks like Dan Aykroyd from the Coneheads
Yeah.
and Sloth from the Goonies had an illegitimate love child. He just did that.
No doubt.
I have to get away from this camera before
There's
I say
no
something
doubt.
I can't unsay.
So predictions for tonight.
Favorites.
You got your-
Give me all the favies.
You got your picks ready. We're gonna do monkey knife fights again.
I don't have those ready. We'll do those on ESPN.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
The ESPN show on 92.9 FM, 880 and 1400 AM, and the iHeartRadio app.
Look at this.
Join us.
He's almost got it. Yeah.
I will do picks on
I'm
this.
trying
show.
every time. I'm almost got it, dude.
I'll go Sixers -8.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go Knicks -2. I'll go Jazz -9. I'll take all three favorites.
Okay.
Donovan
take
Mitchell
all three
plays
back.
for the Jazz.
My favorite bet of the night, and it's not even kind of close, is over 229.5 in Philadelphia and Washington.
Yeah, I that one.
Davis Bertans is going to play more tonight. They're going to score points. It's just they're going to give up a lot of points too.
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight the only, I don't know. I want to say the only drama is in that Knicks-Hawks game.
Julius Randle has to play better.
But the Grizzlies-
I want to preview that just a little bit if I can. It's the next, and I don't know how much you're going to want to talk about tomorrow. I don't know.
But just
So here, this is the game for the Knicks. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
You played a tough game in game one. You had the Knicks back into it. You had the fans back into it. You have to win this game. You 100% have to win this game tonight, or this is over. And this whole year was kind of a bust, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, just making it to the playoffs isn't what you want to do. You want to at least win a series to show the free agents out there, hey, you probably want to come play with this team. Because that's really all this is about, is making sure you're good enough to attract free agencies, which the Knicks have not been in a very long time. It's time for Julius Randle to show who he was. The most improved player this year, just got awarded. Congratulations to him. But they need to win this game, period. And if Trae Young goes for 50, we're in deep trouble.
You're screwed. You're absolutely screwed, which is exactly what I fear is going to happen.
I have this bad feeling he's going to come out and Reggie Miller the hell out of us.
Absolutely.
Because they've made him into this villain, and they've tried to do this, and they kind of, even Trae Young's dad was out there saying, my boy loves being the villain. He loves it, and I'm like, damn it. Because I could just see Trae Young being a guy to be like,
young enough, he's cocky enough. He was shushing the crowd
just to just come out and just destroy them.
He's going to spank
and I just don't want to see it.
On the other hand, what's the story with the Jazz? Are we gonna see Donovan Mitchell out here tonight?
He's playing.
You got to imagine after he was pissed off that he sat out game one.
Play.
Yeah.
It's got to be down to ultimatum time of, you didn't play me last game, you're not going to do it to me again. Because we can't fall behind to Memphis.
No, and we can't have the dissension amongst the ranks because it seemed like, even though it seemed like, some of the players would have known that it was a decision by the team to take them out, and they were under the impression that it was Donovan who said himself post game, which is why we were kind of saying those things going into it, and then we come and find out that it was the Jazz who held them back. So where's the communication going on? You just seem to have like this ascension. Hopefully they met and everything, and they aired everything out, and they can say, you know what? Because I think Donovan Mitchell is one of the most underrated players in this league. But he does have a tendency to bring some drama along with him, and it's happened for the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
And so we'll see what happens.
He's worth the drama though. He plays tonight. They will roll over the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel pretty confident in that.
As do I.
You got to be.
I think they roll whether he plays or not.
Oh, you think so?
I don't think it matters.
Okay. All right, we shall see, and we will be with you this afternoon.
Lakers, go!
We will be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app every weekday afternoon, 3 to 5. We'll be back here tomorrow morning in the Wicked Weed studio at 9 a.m. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different. Check them out at wickedweedbrewing.com. I'm Tank Spencer, and he's Brian Haynes. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.